en este momento tú también seas parte fundamental del cambio y que inspires a diferentes jóvenes. Estamos aquí de 16 a 30 años, ¿ok? Quiero que los inspires. ¿De qué manera? Bueno, lo podemos hacer a través de las redes sociales. Ya sabes, en este momento te doy el hashtag, es NAU Fest, es el
I give you
hashtag,
the hashtag,
para que
NAU
compartas todo
Fest, so you can
estos
share
próximos
everything
días.
that is happening in the coming days.
De las Américas, de nuestro continente, de la unión de los jóvenes, vamos a tener la oportunidad de tener diferentes oradores, diferentes actividades y bueno, pues por primera vez que se
JA is one of the most influential NGOs in the world, according to NGO Advisor, and has been nominated this year for the first time in its history. Are you ready to hear it? For the Nobel Peace Prize. This is historic. So how proud you are to be here with us. And as if that wasn't enough, we have recently been renewing our visual identity. So I invite you to know much more about who we are and how we will look like from now on. Today you are doing something super important. Today you're making a very, very important change for the rest of your personal and professional life. Let's watch the following video. Wow, what a video, what image. Now you have a clear picture of where you are, of what you're going to live the next days, and the difference that you are making. I love it. Rayo Mateloto, CEO, for his welcoming words. We are going to share with you the advance, the progress of what the next 8 days are they going to be, what you're going to live, the experiences of NAU Fest. Check this out. Excellent. How exciting. Can you realize what you're going to live in the next 8 days? Your word matters. You're going to motivate much more young people. It's really important that you use the hashtag NAUFest in social media. Let's go now with Leo. Welcome. Hello, Ileana. It's nice to hear from you and that you give us your energy because in Junior Achievements we want to share the best energy so that we can together change the world. It sounds ambitious and impossible, but we believe that when young people share their creativity and positive energy, our neighbor, our country, and our region can change positively. And your energy, Ileana, is the spirit of this festival that we call NAU Fest. And as you well said, in Junior Achievements, we want to inspire and prepare young people at the end of the day. And to be simple, what we want is to empoderate the young people in our region that are 160 million people. Important is this to make sure that they have the power. The power that is born inside every people, in this case, our young people. They are people who change the world, not only viewers. They start to be protagonists. Not others that history is going to bring positive impacts for everyone. Now Fest is about now and the future. Young people is the future, and we believe that they are important for the present and that they are compromised and that they want to solve problems that worries us all. So they're very important part for the present. Have that air that gave oxygen. So that oxygen that let us inspire come from other people, histories that you hear. So in our fest, you are going to hear testimonies of people that are doing are going to continue doing. You are not alone in the adventure of entrepreneur. Today we start with a very special workshop that is entrepreneurship is one of our pillars. It's important to identify a need and to make with that idea action that generated not only to identify, not only in businesses. An entrepreneur is someone who sees that so for our organization is a great pride that all these young people are invited to the NAU Fest and that you are here and that you want to help. Again, I want to congratulate you because this is the beginning of a journey that we are going to live in the next days. And the regional staff generates you inspiration and that you can become those entrepreneurs that I'm sure that you will do. For that to close, for those who think that young people is lost, we say that they are wrong. That young people have a lot to give here and is going to participate of activities is great. With this, Ileana, I return to you. Congratulations to the staff who make this possible, to this NAU Fest that is a reality today, and the thousands of people. I go back to you, Liliana. Leo, you also were a student of junior achievements, so in you, many people can be reflected and see what you have traveled. Thank you for transmitting this important message. We have to thank to the people who made this NAU Fest possible from every edge. We want to thank thank for all the sponsors.
Entonces, sin más,
So let's know our first speaker. I would like to take a moment so you can write to me what do you think entrepreneurship is. For this is this chat, so we can share all of our experiences and doubts. And you have to remember that every question is extremely important. We want you to share it. Today is about leaderships and also tools for entrepreneur. So to begin our first day, you will meet Rebecca Wan. She is a capital and venture investor and has experience in innovation and investment, founder and social entrepreneur, an ecosystem builder. Are you ready? This is our first day of NAU Fest. Hello, Ileana. Thank you very much for this introduction. It's an honor to be here. I greet you all. I'm from Argentina. When I started as an entrepreneur and investor, I was in your place. We won a local award in Buenos Aires, and look where we are now. I want to tell you about my personal story and what you can expect in the next years. So now let's talk about what it means to be an entrepreneur. To make a context,
Muchísimas gracias. Hoy vamos sobre de
thank you
dónde
very
vienen
much.
estas
We are going to talk about. I lived 5 years in Silicon Valley working with many entrepreneurs from America. I would like to talk you about my personal history. And you get an idea of what you can think about your personal career. Next slide, please. I was born in Seoul, Korea. When I was 6, my family moved. Next slide. In the opposite side of the planet, if you make a hole in Seoul and you go through the earth, you would end up in Buenos Aires, Argentina. So there I learned how contrasting is the world and the differences. So that created my entrepreneur mind. When I was 18, I started to get interested in the water field. I ended up in Nicaragua. I worked with communities of entrepreneurs creating water filters. I ended up in Silicon Valley, in Stanford, because I learned that technology is only a small component of this project. What we need is more than technology. We need community, entrepreneurship to learn about. Then I wanted to learn about entrepreneurship. We created this. About my career after being an entrepreneur, I started being an investor. I wanted to find capital. So with this team, we created venture capital for companies who 80% of global consumption is decided by women. That led me to understand the equity. Then I had children. I have two boys of 4 and 7, because for entrepreneurs, every experience is knowledge. So we gain knowledge with what we do in our personal life too. In the last days, I started Calais Ventures, in which I actively invest in cooperatives, in startup companies, in companies from Mexico to Ushuaia. As we speak about the future of work, besides entrepreneurship, I wanted to show you the different stages that an entrepreneur could have. An entrepreneur could have many abilities. So, in my personal life, I started as an investor. I was a chemist engineer. Then I had some experiences as social entrepreneur, then technological entrepreneur. And as I told you, then I started investing. With all this, what I've done through my life was to create a portfolio with experiences that let me be someone very resilient and versatile to the contributions and the value that I can add to projects and initiatives of entrepreneurs. I advise you to think of the future of your careers, to be open to the possibility that not only of the specialization of a specific field, but to create exposition, discovery, explorer, the diversity that I'm really interested in. I also like to be with different people from different ethnicities, and also the inside diversity. A lot of what I did in my life was to connect these ecosystems, and it was a great platform that led me to create more success in terms of investments, and also in terms of creating my own entrepreneurships. In my career as an investor, I invested in more than 50 companies. We have 3 or 4 unicorns. It was a really nice journey. Well, now when you think about the future of work, What I recommend you is that you think of your life as a portfolio of activities. You cannot forget about the impact part. In our generation, we thought that we were going to have a life and a career of 30 or 40 years in which we worked of something that we liked but not so much, and that in a moment we could dedicate time to more projects to which we have a project, a legacy that we want to let to a world. Today, your generation does not think the same way. You think of how you can do many things at the same time: earn money, take care of a family, and also to act to change this world into a better place in terms of justice, nature, inclusivity, and you can do this with that portfolio. Thank you. With this, I can conclude with the story of my personal life. And what I want to do in the last 5, 10 days, show you some stories that show what the world of entrepreneur is, how we think and understand opportunities, entrepreneurs. You can do these activities and workshops in NAU Fest. So we continue with the next slides to talk about the value of entrepreneurship. I also hope that you are talking between each other in the platforms that NAU Fest provided you. Why entrepreneurships are important at a macro level. Entrepreneurship is the origin of jobs in the world. There are many studies that show that jobs are caused because entrepreneurships of less than 5 years old. So the job that you will have probably will be part of an entrepreneurship, and you will also be a creator of some of them. You don't have an effort at a country level to create this space. A university can create a lot of impact. In MIT, studies showed that many people created entrepreneurships. And 10 years ago, it was concluded that one university had created 2 trillions of incomes annually. Imagine what they can do at a city or country level. All these young people that are in the region that can join forces. I can't imagine the dimensions of that impact. Now I want to tell you some stories so it can be fun and we can show how entrepreneurs think. Many of you can be identified by this. This is a story of Jay Hoffman, the creator of it was an auction. He started as an engineer in a big corporation in an office many years to trying to have influence in this organization. The person that admires the most is his boss. His boss one day came and told him, "We have to talk." He felt intimidated by this offer. He didn't know if he was going to be fired that day. They went to a hall in front of a window, and the boss went serious and said, "Jeff, I have a question for you. And some questions that if you answer well, you are going to end this meeting with a promotion." So he said, "Okay, game on, let's do it. What are the questions?" "Well, I come here every morning to see through this window. So what do you see?" He was thinking they were going to ask him other questions. And he saw, "I think are going to see cars." And the boss says, "Yes, correct. I came here every day at 7 a.m. or at 11 p.m. and meditate here. And what do I do here?" "Well, I suppose that you like cars." "Yes, correct," the boss said to him. And he thought, "Yeah, okay, it's working. My answers are okay." Okay, so the third question is the most important. I want to ask you, if I come here tomorrow at 7 a.m. and at 11 p.m., and today I gave you a promotion, so which car am I going to see here tomorrow early in the morning and late at night? Trying to see if he was going to work all day. And then he said, "Yes, okay, and I understand now the purpose of the questions. You will surely be in my car, not at 7, at 5 a.m. And at midnight, it is always going to be here. Because I'm going to go home today, buy a new car, a used car, and I'm going to park it here so you can see it." Jeff thought that was funny, and he didn't get the promotion and lost the job. But that was the start of his entrepreneur life. The lesson is that entrepreneurs think of alternatives or how they can adjust to the rules of the game, but in a short way. I'm going to tell you one more story. What I want to emphasize is that the idea is obviously important, but the quality of the person and the team is the most important. We have another example of the mafia of PayPal, where the online payments started. When this company started, they weren't spending the money efficiently. They used PDFs. It was to divide a bill in a dinner, for example. They received money. The team was really good, so they can recycle a product, the product that it exists today, that it's a platform of transactions of online money. So they could grow it with eBay in that time. YouTube founders, Facebook founders, many companies that we know today come from this team. If you choose the great team, the ideas are going to grow and get better. One last story before we go back to Liliana. What kind of skills do we need to create this future of work? Resilience and portfolios. So, more story. With that, we conclude. Here, the story of how to create luck for you. Because we say that fortune is what we need to be successful in the entrepreneur world. So that we can create an unicorn. Fortune is also made. You don't only get it as a gift. There are things and actions and attitudes that you can have as entrepreneurs to get some luck. There are two groups of people. Some people that we know with luck, that they buy the last ticket of a concert, that they go to street and the taxi or bus come at the right time, they win something, and we say that they have luck and that we don't. For example, it starts raining and we don't have umbrella. So you give an exercise to both groups. You give images. There are 27 images in this newspaper, and the job is to in this exercise, the instructions is that in the second page there's a message that says, don't do the exercise because I tell you the answer. There are 27 images in this newspaper. The group that think that is lucky could see that message because they were paying attention to other inputs and other information available. So they could read that paragraph. And they say, I have the answer. We know that there are 27 images. Group number 2 were obsessed with the images. So when they get to the end, they lost the time and they lost the exercise. The message here is that to be an entrepreneur and to plan and adapt to predictability in this work is that what you need to do is to pay a lot of attention and to be focused on what you're working on in the entrepreneurship, and always be open to what the universe may told you. And create that portfolio that we talked about. With this, I want to greet you all. It's an honor to be part of this event. Liana, I go back to you. I hope that you are very lucky and you can text us so we can invest in some of you. Have a great day. Bye. Rebecca, thank you very much for all your concepts, your experiences, because you are talking to all the people in this festival. I love reading you in spatial chat, and I'm also going to say hi to the people that is watching us in the YouTube channel. Thank you for sharing your experiences. Please use the hashtag NAUFest. Now we are going to have different workshops. And for now, I say goodbye. And I also say goodbye to the YouTube audience. Thank you for joining us. I hope you can use that in your future. Thank you for joining us. In our platform, the JF staff is going to guide you so you can participate in all the workshops that we prepare for you. Please tag us in your pictures and publications. You can share about your culture. We are really interested in it to have more friends of these 25 countries. Remember that you can do it tagging us, JA America, and using the hashtag NowFest. Thank you very much. I'm Ileana Jimenez. I only say goodbye to the YouTube people, and we stay here in the platform. I want you to absorb everything.